Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast, Gum Under the Desk, episode 1. So today we will be talking about a couple of things, but one of the topics will be Cardi B versus Tasha K. So I'm going to read from this article. It's by the Black Enterprise. Cardi B is as relentless in getting her money as she is clapping back at any naysayers that have come for her throughout her career. According to Radar Online, the Bodak Hxllo rapper, who is owed millions from vlogger Tasha K, has made good on her promise to start garnishing any income from the YouTuber. In April, Cardi was given the legal right to seize property owned by the woman who defamed her. After Cardi B sued the blogger, a jury found Tasha K liable for defamation, invasion of privacy, and infliction of emotional distress. The Bronx-bred entertainer was awarded nearly $3 million in punitive damages and attorney's fees. Variety also reported that the $3 million comes on top of the $1.25 million she was initially awarded, totaling $4.25 million for the rapper. The Bronx native first served a subpoena to JP Morgan Chase to start collecting her award money. However, she was informed that the vlogger only had $1,083.02 in her account. Then the love and hip hop star contacted Google, the owner of YouTube, to see how much money she can garnish from Tasha's account. You are hereby commanded to immediately hold all money, including wages and other property, except what is known to be exempt, belonging to the defendant or obligations owed to the defendant named above, beginning on the day of service of this summons and including the next 1,095 days, the notice stated. She was told that Tasha was owed $9,304.81, but that money was turned over to the Grammy Award-winning artist. Cardi originally sued in 2009 over Tasha K's slanderous YouTube videos with over 1 million subscribers. Tasha K told her viewers that Cardi B had herpes, previously worked as a prostitute, cheated on her husband, Offset, formerly of Migos, and used hard drugs, among a slew of other claims. Tasha K avoided paying the rapper and filed an appeal. Billboard reported a judge upheld the $4 million defamation verdict. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit rejected an appeal after the blogger claimed the verdict resulted from a lopsided presentation of evidence to the jury. In March, Tasha K took to Instagram to offer Cardi B an apology, but like most bill collectors, Cardi just wants her money. Additional information about the case. According to Boss-Up, Tasha K files for bankruptcy with $95 in her account as Cardi B collects on her $4 million defamation lawsuit. I wanted to cover different topics, but still in the realm of law court. I just read an article to you guys about the case and basically where it's at. It's, in addition to new information that Tasha K has filed for bankruptcy. What can I say about that? I think that Cardi wanting her money faster is confusing to me because she's not hurting for cash. She is a go-getter. There's a lot of bloggers that are really good at giving her accolades and, somehow tying in her previous success when they're talking about her. Just, showing that respect. So I'm not sure what she wants to happen. I don't know if she's trying to make an example out of Tasha. I see that Tasha is moving on to different content. And it's unfortunate because when you're trying to move on, because bloggers cover a lot of subjects. And it's not like they are necessarily FOIA requesting and digging for information. Like maybe some are just kind of maybe running with a narrative or something they heard about years ago. Regardless, there are artists that are talked about and heinous things are said about them. All types of conspiracies are made up about them. They are not taking anyone to court. They're definitely not asking for their money faster. And this is people with money. And not to say that Cardi doesn't have money, because she does, obviously. But you see people who are living their lives and they've at some point had to accept that people are going to have an opinion. They still find a way to live their lives. Do you guys think that some people watch for a reaction, to have a reaction? What do you think about that? Because it's up to us to click on these videos. It's up to us to, we seek out the information essentially. Now, if you have someone sending you toxic information, do you want it? Do you want that information? Or if they're just sending it, maybe you need to be a little bit more clear about your piece and how that doesn't help you, that you don't want to clap back, you don't want to respond to this or that. Regardless of age, it's never too late to be wise about what it is you're doing and why you're doing it. It's taking a moment and just thinking. Tasha K filed for bankruptcy. I can just imagine that Cardi has gone through any legal means at her disposal to find the money, to if Tasha does have money, for her to be able to access it. But when you went the first time looking for money, she had a little over 1,000. And then when you went to look again, it was $95. So what are we doing? I don't like people who have a lot of money and resources trying to squeeze the little guy. We have to look at what Cardi B said. She said that her allegations affected her mental health. Don't quote me, but that's the gist of it. Can Tasha control her audience any more than Cardi can control her fans? Neither can. They can also not say nothing when they see something. All in all, I hope these ladies figures it out. I think that when you get to a certain place in your life, you obtain a certain amount of power. Maybe you're used to people treating you and talking to you a certain way, but that's not reality. That's not the world. Now, should Tasha have said those allegations? Honestly, you have to question a lot of bloggers that say things and report things that may not be true, that are missing some vital details. I think just letting this woman have this settlement that she has to pay that looming over her head while she's trying to move forward. And yeah, I heard that she had said some things even after the verdict. It's petty. Of course, I don't know what Cardi went through when those allegations were said. If people looked at your old videos and they drew a conclusion from that, that is what people do. Just wanting people to have nice things to say about you is ludicrous. It's not gonna help you, if you think about it, by censoring everything and basically creating this world for yourself. That's my take on the Cardi B and Tasha K situation. So that I wanted to talk about a high profile case, and then I wanted to talk about the Salem witch trials. So basically, I'm going to give you a little history, and then at the end of the video, I will provide my commentary. Okay, this portion of the podcast will be about the Salem witch trials. So the Salem witch trials was a panic of witchcraft and Satanism that spread due to King James VI of Scotland, published of a compendium on witchcraft lore called Demonology. According to the online British Library in 1597, it was published and also published in England in 1603 when James ascended to the English throne. The book asserts James' full belief in magic and witchcraft and aims to both prove the existence of such forces to lay down what sort of trial and punishment these practices meant, in James' view, death. Demonology and Macbeth. Many elements of the witchcraft scenes in this Shakespeare play conform to James' ideas and beliefs in witchcraft as expressed in Demonology. News from Scotland and his anti-witchcraft legislation. This includes ideas such as the witches vanishing, invisible flight, the raising of storms, dancing and chanting, sexual acts and their gruesome potion ingredients in the presence of animal familiars. Salem Village, a small Puritan community, became a cornerstone in furthering the anti-witchcraft legislation. What's a trip is knowing that Shakespeare had a play exactly like what was happening. According to History.com, as a history buff, I've always loved this channel. At the center of the Salem witch trials was a core group of accusers, all girls and young women, ranging in age 9 to 20 years old, who screamed, writted, barked, and displayed other horrifying symptoms they claimed were signs of satanic possession. Often referred to as the afflicted girls, they included members of prominent village families as well as domestic servants and refugees of King William's War, a long-running conflict that pitted English settlers against Wabanaki Native Americans and their French allies. These people often display symptoms or signs then thought to be the result of witchcraft. According to the online British Library, it seems noteworthy that although the play Macbeth is contaminated with the witchcraft of the wayward sisters, and Macbeth himself is spurred on by their prophecies and the urging of his somewhat witchy wife, Shakespeare places the responsibility for Duncan's murder on Macbeth himself. Macbeth's downfall is a result of his tyranny as a king with the double-speaking prophecies. So this group of accusers became actresses themselves, somehow carrying out the anti-witchcraft legislation. Anne Putnam Jr. in 1706, while seeking to join the Salem village church, Anne offered the only known apology of any of the accusers, stating that she was deluded by the devil and that she desired to lie in the dust and earnestly beg for forgiveness from God and from all those unto whom I have given just cause of sorrow and offense. She was allowed to join the congregation but died from unknown causes 9 years later. The 12-year-old daughter of Thomas Putnam and his wife Anne Carr Putnam became one of the most prolific accusers of the trials, naming and or testifying against more than 60 people, a scion of one of Salem's most prominent families, and a close ally of Paris. Thomas served as a key instigator of the witch trials. He wrote many of the depositions for the afflicted, including his daughter and his wife. This is the last topic. It's called Cocaine and a Chili Cheese Glizzy. So I came across this article about a woman. So according to Law and Crime article titled Sonic Employee Charged with Felony After Customer Gets a Mouthful of Cocaine in a Coney Hot Dog, a 54-year-old cook named Jeffrey Salazar was arrested last week after a customer allegedly ordered from the fast food restaurant and found herself with about $100 worth of unwanted cocaine in her mouth. Jeffrey Salazar was charged with 1 count of felony possession of a controlled substance, authorities announced. According to a press release from the City of Espanola Police Department, on May 30th, a female customer ordered a coney, a hot dog topped with chili and melted cheese, from a Sonic restaurant 800 blocks of South Riverside Drive, about 100 miles northeast of Albuquerque. A field test was conducted on the bag, came back positive for 1 gram of cocaine, which police say was inadvertently placed by Mr. Salazar during the time while employed at this location. Get this, investigators were able to obtain surveillance footage from inside the restaurant. Imagine this situation. He is at work and somehow makes a transaction, goes back to making food. I don't know how fast he was moving, but how a bag of cocaine could get in someone's hot dog is beyond me. It just speaks to how kind of filthy fast food is. I mean, I don't know if she ordered more food and once she found the substance in her hot dog, she just called the police, because that's what she ended up doing, and good for her. So according to Mr. Salazar, it was not put there purposefully. Surveillance footage from inside the restaurant showing the suspect allegedly making some kind of transaction with another Sonic employee. By the way, he actually said it was someone he met in the parking lot. He doesn't say that a coworker gave him it. Police reportedly wrote, Salazar appears to go back to his job of preparing food. However, soon after the alleged transaction, police reportedly said that Salazar stopped what he was doing and began frantically searching the area as if he had lost something. In a subsequent interview with investigators, police say that Salazar admitted that the small baggie contained cocaine and belonged to him, allegedly claiming that he purchased the narcotics from someone in the restaurant parking lot, according to the report from Fort Worth affiliate KXAS TV. So he basically says like he didn't mean for it to happen, and another thing that I'm thinking of is that 54 is way too old for you to be messing with your heart like that, playing around with a substance like that. I was just shocked. I'm gonna throw up the picture of him. He is an older gentleman. He does not need to be doing this sort of thing like at his age. I would say don't do it at all. It is what it is. You never know what's meant to happen to stop you from going down a path. Maybe that was that wake-up call for him, but this is a bizarre read, and that's what I'm kind of going to be doing on the podcast. I'm going to just be pulling up different stories that are bizarre out there. There's so many that pop up on my timeline, and so I definitely want to share it with you guys. So this is the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I was pretty nervous about how I was going to deliver this because I've never started a podcast. I wouldn't know where to start, but I know that there's no rule book. I want to kind of speak to that. Even though I can say whatever it is that I want to say, I choose to say things consciously because I understand that people are listening. People are impressionable at all ages. I try to learn with you guys and keep it light, and so I hope you enjoyed it, and like, comment, and subscribe.